What is up, everybody? It's time for another one of my League pro game commentaries. It's been quite a long time since I've done one of these. I do apologize, but I want to make a lot more videos for you guys coming in the future, so I'm going to try and force myself to get up and just probably do a couple of these a week if I can. This particular match should be a good one. We got Nhat, Nguyen, Azingy, Lemongod. Yeah, it should be a great game. Nhat showing off that new arcade Sona skin, probably one of my favorite skins that I've seen Riot actually release in a long time. I'm happy about seeing Jayce in this game as well, as he is my favorite champion in the game actually. And so overall, pretty exciting action. He's going to be going up against Riven on the top lane. Should be fine against her. I don't have too much problem when I play against Riven. You just gotta use your speed boost and knock her back if she does get up to you anytime soon. So he's okay against her. And then Twisted Fate versus a Lux in the middle lane. Alright, so Lux tends to be one of those champions that can just completely dominate if played well. And at the same time, she can have problems if she doesn't do well early on and get ahead. So I think that she should be okay against a Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate usually does pretty well against your standard mid AP carries, but I wouldn't say Lux is necessarily your standard mid. We'll have to just wait and see. Now, Twisted Fate is going to need to really take advantage of the fact that he can just run all over the map with his ultimate at level 6 to make plays, as he's not going to be as strong as your other carries, of course, but we're gonna have to wait and see if that actually works out. And for some reason I'm not getting any sound here, and I don't know if that's just me, so let me just double check here. I'm gonna go ahead and disable. Oh wait, are we already getting people messing around here? Oh no, they're just running around. So before I do that, let's check this out. A flash and a stun onto the Lux, and she is taken down right away for first blood. She was not expecting them to come out of the bush like that. That was very well played by their Taric there, and just a really bad position for that Lux to be in an early game like that. Probably not expecting that here in this solo queue match. Needs to really pay attention because these guys are out to win, and they are now running around looking for some more opportunities in their jungle. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this chance to mess with the sound, and this should be able to turn it back on for me. All right. Now hopefully that will fix it for us. And we are good. Okay, so I don't know if it was working for you guys. I wasn't hearing on my headset for some reason, but here we are. And so that's gonna give a nice advantage. Actually, who got that kill? For some reason I'm not, oh, there it goes. Yeah, I forgot they actually swapped the faces over so you can compare them easier. Actually, I read in the notes that you can swap people so that you can compare them differently. Let's see if I can do that here. Let's see, Riven and Jayce. Ah, there we go. So yeah, you can actually swap them so you can compare. That's actually really cool. I like that. So I'm gonna move up my Lux here, and let's just move everyone to their respective positions. Bam! So now we got each lane and role matched up properly so you can watch those farm numbers and compare them very quickly. Ha! Love you guys at Riot for doing that. And wow, already gonna have a kill onto the bottom lane, potentially. Oh my god, that was so close. And that Nguyen actually gets a kill onto the Ezreal as Vayne barely escaped by flashing over the wall. What a freaking great play there. Using that cleanse to get out of the ignite, it looks like, and saving him at the same time, able to get a kill for the support, as well as, I'm guessing, an assist there. So that was just really sick play. Sona tends to be one of those champions that just has amazing burst early game for a support champion. So it does make sense that he was able to make that happen now. And just shows that, you know, Nhat was not afraid. He knows that he has to make plays as a support. You can't always be afraid and just run away and expect your AD carry to do everything. You are the support. You have to be able to do stuff. And I'm trying to watch this top lane. It looks like Azingy is just waiting for his opportunity to strike up here on the top lane. And he could go in very soon as this Riven is getting close. And it looks like he is going to actually run into the Lisahhh here. Azingy will be seeing him, and that's going to be potentially a kill. And that is just too bad. He did have that red buff and had Lemongod jump in there. And there is the double kill there for Jayce as Riven tried to help out, but was not able to handle the strength of both Jayce and Mundo. So that is going to be a giant loss of creeps right there. Probably one of the worst times that you can possibly die as a top laner is when you have all of these creeps up here pushing. And I can guarantee you right now that is going to hurt Riven extremely bad for probably the rest of the game, especially against a champion such as Jayce, who's going to make it very difficult for her to come back. So we're going to have to see if that Lisahhh can provide the assistance that he's going to need to come back from losing a gigantic wave of creeps there. Now, he didn't lose everything because there was so many there, but he did lose the big one and he lost a few others. And so we'll have to see. He's already, let's see, 4.5, whereas Lemongod is 3.5. So a whole level behind from that there, as well as just the creep farm in general. Now on bottom lane, looks like they could be doing a little bit of action here. A kill does happen, and Nguyen just backs off. I guess he noticed that mid lane was missing, so he decided to back off and get out of there, whereas the Vayne did not do the same. Nhat will fall though, even though he did back off, so that is going to be unfortunate. And another kill there as Azingy does pick that up. Looks like they are extremely low at this point, but you know, with the long range of his cards and the stun from both champions there's no way he can get out of there. Another kill for the Twisted Fate. So that's going to give him a great start there, as he's going to be 2-0-1 already, and Lux is already down 1 from that early kill. So we'll have to see how that pans out. They are actually even right now on kills though, so it's not a huge sway in one team's favor or the other. And here we go. Looks like Jayce is trying to put that pressure on. He does have the blue buff from killing the Lisahhh earlier, and he's not going to be able to be extremely, aggressive, strong against her, like out of the ordinary. But he can use that blue buff to quite a bit of an advantage now. Unfortunately, he's missing that Q. That Q can hurt really bad if you land that on them. And there you go. You notice he's just putting tons of pressure. Lemongod really cannot do much at all against that. He's going to have to back off, and that is just the power of Jayce. He has so many options to do damage. He's kind of like an AD caster because he can switch between stances and cast all of his abilities, doing massive amounts of damage in the meantime. Now on the bottom lane, let's see how they are stacking up against each other. We've actually got a huge deficit here as Vayne is really out farming that Ezreal. Even though Ezreal did come out ahead on that trade from earlier, it's not going to stop the fact that with a Sona on the team, and this is something I've noticed when playing bot lane, is that, oh wow, that was a missed Q from the Lisahhh, but it looks like they could still have a pretty good gank happen up here on top lane, and Taric does pick up the kill there, and the next one will be going to the Lisahhh. So unfortunately the Ezreal doesn't grab that one, but that is going to be an assist nonetheless. Bottom lane is doing quite well as far as killing them. They just need to catch up on the farm here, and if they keep doing things like that, I can imagine that will happen. So they need to be careful, and I'm actually surprised that they didn't have any wards there to see that coming. So that is kind of unfortunate that Nhat, I guess when he came back, he either he didn't have those wards up or it just wore off. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I haven't been watching the wards, but that is why they got ganked. They had no vision of that whatsoever. Looks like a ward is going to be placed down here by the Lux. She's just going to make sure that there's not going to be anyone coming from that area to gank her, and they can also watch for him running down to the bottom lane to teleport in and pick up some kills. Now that he is level 6, the rest of the lanes are going to have to really pay attention to that, and that's going to probably help out top just a bit, because even though Jayce is in a good position right now, if he gets ganked by that Twisted Fate, he is going to go down almost no doubt. And unfortunately, it looks like Jayce was trying to jump behind Lemongod and knock him backwards, but Lemon has enough ability to make it impossible for that to happen. He would have had to flash on the other side of her and knock her into the Mundo, and even then it might have been difficult. Oh, looks like a nice counter gank coming in here from the Lisahhh. That is going to be difficult to get away from, as here comes the Twisted Fate with a perfect stun, taking him down, and now Azingy in big trouble. Mundo trying to get out of there, has the Ignite on him, and slowed, will go down. There's the stun, and needs one last auto attack. Well, can they finish it? Just need, oh my god, just one more attack. He's going to get away from that. Oh, no, it's not. What a kick from that Lisahhh. But here goes the Twisted Fate, so at least something does come out of that as the Twisted Fate falls. They really, they just could not do enough damage to finish him off. That's really hilarious, and I'd be pretty mad about that. Al sitting here kind of taunting Nhat, standing right outside of the turret, saying, come on, come attack me, and puts the stun down on him, trying to get a little bit of damage with the help of the Ezreal, but Ezreal was actually busy pushing the lane, so no problem there. I'm guessing they're gonna get back here fairly soon after shoving that lane just a bit more and putting that pressure on there. And I see Mundo coming down here. Let's see if he's actually going to put some pressure on the bottom lane. They've already poked down this lane quite a bit, and she just barely got back there. So, I mean, even though he's really out farming to an extreme amount, the Ezreal is just way too strong for this lane, and they can barely do anything about that. A flash is going to save the Taric from getting binded, but they could. Oh my God! What? How did that land? Whoa! Wait, okay. I ain't gonna watch that again. How did that hit him? I have no clue how that landed. Okay, I'm just gonna slow this down a bit and say it looked so weird. Okay, so that hits. I think maybe it was an auto attack. No? No? What? What was that? What was that? How did that hit him? That did not hit him. There's no way. That is so random. Okay. Well, anyways, so Lux gets the kill onto the Taric. I think he juked that quite nicely, but apparently not. And they're going to be looking for a dragon over here. Probably going to pick that up without too much trouble, as they do have Vayne coming in as she just respawned. I'm actually really surprised. I mean, I know Vayne has some trouble early game, but I didn't realize they would be having that big of a a problem on the bottom lane, especially with as much as she had been out farming him. But now with 4 kills, that Ezreal is definitely ahead of bottom lane. He's going to be really strong. He's going to have that phage built up. Let's see, Vamp Step. So he's doing pretty good, and that's against just a 2 Doran setup for the Vayne. And I'm guessing he's going to be building up his Trinity way before she gets her Bloodthirster built, or at least around that same time, since Bloodthirster is a lot cheaper. They're going to need a little bit of help here on the bottom lane. Now that the Twisted Fate is level 6, it's just going to be really troublesome for this bottom lane, especially if he decides to keep going the bottom. I imagine with the strength of bottom lane already, that they are going to go ahead and have that Twisted Fate focus on the top here. As you can see, Lemongod just can't handle the Jayce's strength right now. He's going for a Ninja Tabby to make it even harder for her to do any damage to him. And he's got that Vamp Scepter, so that any kind of damage that she does put on him is going to be quickly healed. And just as expected, here comes the gank from the Twisted Fate. I knew that was going to come eventually. It's really dangerous to be pushing up like that against that. And even Lee Sin comes in to stop him. They are putting so much pressure on that top lane to try and shut down that Jayce, because they know, well, bottom lane's already shut down. All we got to do is shut down that top, and we shouldn't have too much trouble from the middle. So that should give them the game right there. And I really wish I had been paying attention a little bit more on the bottom lane to see exactly what happened. Maybe it's just that, Ezreal is just way too strong for Vayne, and so that's probably one reason we don't see a lot of Vaynes these days, is that everyone is picking Ezreal now, and Ezreal just tends to be really strong with that poke against certain champions that don't have range, like in this particular case, it's going to be Vayne. And Vayne, she has that really weak early game. She has to get built up into her items, and then she becomes a hyper carry late game. But if she can't do that, it's not going to be good. Now, I missed the gank here in the middle because I was too busy talking, so luckily we are in a spec mode, so I can just back right on out of there and see what exactly happened. Looks like the wow, she just got way too aggressive there on that one, and got jumped into, stunned, and queued from that Lee Sin, taken down. So kind of a bad play, but Azingy does pick up a kill, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. And so not all is lost in that one, I guess. Now, unfortunately, this Lux is not doing extremely well just yet, but it is only 12 minutes in, so we have yet to see the full power of her. And wow, look at that burst coming in. I'm waiting for an ultimate coming in, and he does juke that out accordingly, so doesn't get taken down from that link. You'll notice the amount of burst coming in from both Taric and from this Ezreal is just legendary. He went from full health down to a quarter in just one very quick exchange, so that can kind of give you an idea of just how powerful he is right now compared to her. So they're going to have to be very... And really, they didn't do much damage at all to him in the exchange. So that is just too unfortunate. Looks like there is going to be a tower dive onto the bottom lane there. She is going to go down. The stun from the Twisted Fate will finish him up. And a double kill. Nhat going to die as well. This Twisted Fate really putting so much pressure on this game. He was able to take out that top lane. And then as soon as his teleport was up, he went straight to the bottom. And he's just making a huge presence all over the map. And unfortunately, she is just seconds late as he has teleported out of those bushes before she's able to make play. And she definitely would have killed him if she had landed that. But like I said, it was just a little bit too late. Jayce on the Heron. Let's take a look. I haven't seen his farm. So yeah, he's definitely out farming her. Has one extra kill. But he's not, you know, completely shutting her down at this point. He did have that good early game from the gank that Azingy put on, but it wasn't enough to completely shut her down. She's just going to need to keep on farming at that point, and with the help from Twisted Fate, she should be good to go. Now, finally, he was able to take out the tower, and that is going to be good, as it's going to free him up to kind of roam around and do some work. And coming on 14 minutes, it could be a good if he starts to roam around and make plays, seeing how the Twisted Fate is doing the same thing. And it is kind of unfortunate that with as much roaming as the Twisted Fate is doing, he's still about to push down the middle turret, and she has not really done any work at all to the turret. So kind of like not the best pick against Twisted Fate now that it comes down to it, because you need someone who can really shove the lane and punish Twisted Fate for leaving, and she just hasn't been able to do that. Lux is just not that type of champion that can really take advantage of the fact that he's not in the lane. You need someone who's really, really strong at clearing the waves. Anyone like, you know, Scion or Karthus or Cassiopeia, just anyone that can clear waves extremely fast can really take advantage of that, to be honest. Now, Jimmy Fun Club here is going to have a little bit of poke coming in from Azingy, and Aerodactyl is actually in bad trouble as Lux will bind him and take him down for the play. As actually, if not, then Jayce would have cleaned that up as well. But he does jump over the wall with his Q, landing a nice little pound onto the face of Lisahhh. And let's see if Lisahhh doesn't get out of there. Actually, he is done for. I think that he should go down with that exhaust. That is going to be enough said for Jayce's burst is legendary and shuts him down completely. Don't see how much gold he got for that. Well, I guess 300. Is the bonus. I don't know how that's a shutdown. All right, anyways, that is going to leave blue team actually in the lead still, and it doesn't mean that they're exactly really far ahead. Now that they're going to get this turret, they just need to focus on that middle lane, and at 16 minutes, that should give both teams the opportunity to go ahead and group up, and we should start seeing some team fights finally, and that's going to weaken the presence of Twisted Fate. So as long as they stay together, they shouldn't have the same level of fail, I guess you could say, from the Twisted Fate coming in and making huge plays. Now he's got this gold card ready to go if he can land that on someone important, and that's going to be Jayce. That was a really good play. Jayce kind of ran in there at the wrong time. The rest of his team was backing off, and Jayce was going in, trying to play mad mode. Not the best play. He's not a tank just yet, and so he can't just run in the middle. He needed Azingy to be the one who takes that gold card in the face, and then he can run in and do his damage. Instead, he just kind of died for no reason. They lost that dragon. That was overall a bad play, and I think they could have done that so much better if he had just backed off, let them kind of start on that dragon, and then engage on the targets after Twisted Fate's gold card had gone down. Now Azingy getting caught here as he wants to go for his wolves. Looks like he will be stunned. I think he might. Oh, no, not with Twisted Fate coming in here. He is going to go down. There's the stun. And now he's got his GA already lost. So that's going to be a really bad situation all around. Not only did they lose Jayce and the dragon, but now GA is down for Azingy. And oh, what a nice ultimate there, just sniping out the Lee Sin. So they do make up for it just a little bit, but at the same time, Link is gonna get taken down by a wild card just on the tip from that Twisted Fate. Al getting out of there just with enough HP to survive. And a binding missed onto that Twisted Fate. Not going to be able to clean that up. But will that Q hit? Yes, doesn't matter because he's not low enough. And they have no more stuns left for Lemongod. But Luckily, he was able to get in range to land a Q onto that Taric and clean that up. Lemongod getting out of there with just barely any HP. Looks like Lisahhh comes in, wants to push them out. Not going to be scary enough to actually kill them, but is going to defend that tower for just a little bit longer. Right now they have a pretty strong team. It's unfortunate that they are down from a lot of the early game plays, but they did have a really strong presence with the Lee Sin and the Twisted Fate early game. I will say that Lee Sin definitely falls off pretty heavily late game. And I don't know, we'll see how the Mundo actually, you know, if he makes a difference or not. I've not seen a Guardian Angel on a Mundo before. That's kind of a new thing to me. So we'll have to see if that actually works out. Obviously he lost that, so they're gonna have to wait for that to come back up before him to be really useful. Oh no, looks like the blue buff did reset, but came back to him, so not too bad. And that is gonna help out. Blue buff on a Lux is actually very important. Her mana costs are really bad, and it's actually really nice to have that cooldown on the ultimate once she has the blue buff and a couple of cooldown items. Let's see, right now it's actually at 36 seconds. Once she gets that to the next level, I think it gets down to like, you can get down just over 20 seconds or so. So it's kind of a ridiculous ultimate at max level with the right amount of cooldown reduction at 40%. So here comes a little bit of action. Looks like Al was trying to stun her. I don't know if that would have been able to clean it up. Maybe if Lee Sin was able to land a Q, that could have picked her up, and that would have sucked really bad. But overall, they're going to be good to go for now. They need to worry about them shoving up. They're going to get ready for this Baron. He's looking to clear. Actually, he doesn't even have an Oracle, so I don't know. They do seem to be coming in here. They don't have the awareness of whether there's any wards or not, and they do have wards of their own, so they can actually bait this out, and it looks like they don't want to actually start it, and that is good. There we go. Nice Q gonna land on a Lux, take her out before she's able to do any damage at all whatsoever. So great plays all around by the Lee Sin, and here comes the stun onto the Jayce. Perfect target for him, and the ultimate lands from Lisahhh. Ignite should take him down one more time. No, just barely, but they'll clean him up. There's no problem there, and looks like the Lee Sin lands that Q, takes him down, and that's 3 kills from just a nice engage from the Lee Sin. That was a great play overall. Lee Sin making big plays here. The entire game, you have to admit, I mean, he's been kind of all over on bottom lane, really stuck it to him down there, and he's caught a lot of people out of position. So I have to give it to Jimmer Fan Club. He's played a great Lee Sin this game and made a big difference. Yes, Lee Sin falls off late game, but if you can make a huge difference early game, it doesn't really matter. As you can see, they are able to just completely dominate this game. Now at 21-12, they've got the Baron buff, they got plenty of towers down in the front. Now they just need to clean out the middle wave of turrets. Looks like while they were doing Baron, as you know, Link was like, well, screw it, I can't stop this Baron, but I can go ahead and take down the bottom turret. I'm going to go ahead and keep pushing as much as I can, and that is going to be his strategy. Let's see if they can actually defend this with just the 3 of them up here at the middle turret. I don't know if that's going to be possible, and in fact, Link knows he can't push further. Yes, Lemongod did go back to stop that, and so they're going to back off as well. I guess you could say he was successful and stopping them from pushing middle by forcing him to go back. So not so bad overall. They're really going to need Vayne to get more items and become more of a threat in order for this game to kind of turn around. Looks like I just noticed Ezreal did not pick up a full Trinity Force. Instead, he went for that Bloodthirster as his first full item, and instead opting just to go for a Phage, and I can see that. It's not necessarily a bad idea. Phage is great just for that slowing ability, and you're not going to have the extra damage from the Sheen, but he's just going to go for the big brute damage from auto attacking and just have the big Q damage. So not so bad overall. We'll have to see if that works out. Zeke's Herald being picked up by the Taric, so that's going to be even greater advantage now for the Ezreal for his attack speed. And that's going to help out even the Twisted Fate, the Riven. I mean, that's pretty much strong for everyone on their team, so great item for Taric to be picking up. Now, I could see that working out as well for this team here if Sona picks up a Zeke, that could work out as well. So we'll see if she actually decides to go for that or not. And we are grouping up here in the middle for yet some more pushing. They need to try and make use of that Baron. I could see them pushing down the bottom or the top. It looks like they're actually just going to keep shoving the middle. They want to go for that inhibitor as fast as possible rather than go for the easy turrets. And that's okay, I suppose. They noticed that they still have their own middle turret, so they don't want to let that get pushed down. And my god, looks like the... man, Lux is just getting caught all game long. Once again, out in the front, gets caught, taken down. That's going to make it really difficult for them team. Jim and Fan Club is going to come in there, jumping in the front line, doing some work, but he flashes over the wall to escape as he was kind of pushing a little bit further into the turret. Gets done there. Azingy just barely making it out, using his ultimate to stay alive. And now they are going to be able to sit there and poke down at the turret, using her dodge to try to roll out of those wild cards, but it's not going to be enough to save the turret, and they're going to probably take out this inhibitor without any kind of resistance whatsoever. Everybody is really low here, getting poked down extremely bad by both Aerodactyl's wild cards as well as Lisahhh fans using his Q there. So they're doing a really great job of catching people just consistently this game. I have to say, a little bit disappointed for this Lux. She's not going to be able to play the role of Lux if she keeps getting caught out in the front like that. And that's what we need to see. Lux doing those big ultimates. If she was able to land any of her abilities, and oh my god, that stun on the Jayce completely took him out in an instant. They were basically 3v5 there in that fight. They were a little bit premature going in on that. And overall, I'm just seeing way too many mistakes in this level of play, and it's kind of unfortunate to watch. And I know a lot of you guys out there that watch these videos will probably comment, and you're like, man, this is not, you know, 2400 elo play, but yes, it is. So if this looks like your, you know, 1200 elo games, it's because everybody makes mistakes in all levels of play. Also, another thing about high elo is that the reason these guys are higher elo is that they know how to take advantage of the smallest mistakes. So maybe something that these guys do might not be taken advantage of by someone that's in the lower elo, but these guys, they see the slightest mistake. Like, you could be just barely out of position and someone's gonna hit you with that Lisahhh Q, and the whole team's gonna engage on you, whereas maybe in lower elo, you know, if Lisahhh were to land that Q and jump in, maybe the rest of the team doesn't follow up. There's a lot of small things that you don't really think about when you see these plays where, man, he just got taken out fast and he's not playing correctly. But in all honesty, all of these guys know what they're doing a lot more often than not. But at the same time, yes, it is unfortunate to see things like the Lux staying out in the front and making those bad plays. So there's kind of a double-edged sword on that. And he's kind of, you know, not really making up for the best game, kind of making their team look bad. He's really heavy this game, but he's obviously in this elo for a reason. Maybe he doesn't even play mid lane that well, and he's just kind of trolling around wanting to try out Lux as a new champion this game. Who knows? There's too many things to focus on. But back to the game, we've got red buff on our Ezreal here. He is going to be shoving up to the middle here. And they are trying their best to kind of defend this. They have their inhibitor ready to go. They haven't lost any other turrets, but they have only one more here. I don't think they're going to be able to defend this turret as they are too busy on the top and middle area. And this is going to go down for free right here. Nothing they can do about that. I don't know what is left for red team to do at this point. I mean, they had their opportunities. It's just that they gave them all away. Unfortunately, with people getting caught consistently, it put blue in such a lead that there's really little that they can do to come back from this, save for, you know, one of these important players getting caught and making a huge mistake. You see the Link taking giant damage just from Alb alone. Taric able to do big work on him, and the rest of the team hasn't even got there yet. There's the exhaust and one last Q. Lisahhh takes him down with almost no effort at all. Nhat goes down from a gold card stun, and there's going to be the cleanup from the rest of the team. This is probably going to be the end of the line, as they do have super creeps in here to help tank the turrets. They're going to go ahead and take those down. Overall, it was, I think, a pretty good game, but we saw that I think the winner of this one was that probably the great roaming from both the Lisahhh jungle ganks and the Twisted Fate. So unfortunately, they needed someone to punish Twisted Fate for roaming, and Lux was not that champion. She was not able to roam herself. Actually, Lux is a great roaming champion, but she just wasn't able to do that. Top lane did a great job, but wasn't able to do much against Lisahhh and Twisted Fate. And overall, I have to say Lux was just a little bit too heavy this game. Bottom lane, unfortunately, was a little bit too heavy as well. They really did a great job of farming. Vayne was really ahead, and I think Nhat was doing a great job as well. But unfortunately, that Ezreal just played way too well. He was able to completely outburst that Vayne in every single exchange. Vayne was just not the champion that she used to be, and Ezreal just outclassed her in every way. So thanks you guys for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it. I'll see you around for the next one. It's Cola Cheese. Peace out.